Okay, today's film is 1992 Split Second, starring Rutger Hauer. Why is it called Split Second? I don't know. It is. So we're going to call it Split Second. I don't know. That's the name. What's it about? Well, it is the future of 2008. Why? I don't know. There's nothing really futuristic about anything, except in the future of 2008, global warming has caused the sea levels to rise. And so every time they go outside, the streets are covered in water. Why? I don't know. Because. That's why. Shut up. Stop asking questions. One more question. It's set in London. Why? I don't know. Because it is. Shut up. Stop asking questions. Anyway, Split Second is a story of Rutger Hauer. He plays a cop who a few years earlier, his partner had been killed right in front of him. And they never found out who killed him. And whoever did kill him, ripped the heart straight out of his chest. So understandably, this kind of screws up the Rutger Hauer's character. And now, a few years later, dun dun dun, it seems like the killer's back. And he's got a new partner. Now, it's kind of interesting, which I always say, because this is not a typical buddy cop movie. They're not really at odds. They don't know each other, and Rutger Hauer does do the old, I don't need a partner thing.
And there's a condition, Stone. My condition. He goes with you. I work alone.
But then after that, they pretty much get along. The new partner is kind of a nerd, so he's doing all the actual detecting work. And Rutger Hauer is just the muscle, basically. And there are some strange scenes in this movie. So there is a big conversation about the fact that even though the partner is kind of nerdy, he has sex every night.
You what?
Run 5 miles every morning.
What's the matter? You don't get laid?
Yeah. Every night.
Dick, you really get laid every night?
Yeah.
Okay, don't really care about your sex life. Speaking of sex life, the female lead, I guess you'd call her, she's more of a supporting actress in this, is Kim Cattrall. Most famous in my eyes, from Sex and the City. And because it's Kim Cattrall, she does show her boobs. I don't know. I say that, but I've seen one episode of Sex and the City and she showed her boobs, so my assumption is that's all she does. I don't know. And her role is kind of weird, because at first I thought she was the daughter of the partner that got killed. But then somebody mentions, he had an affair with his partner's wife. So is she supposed to be the wife? And were they supposed to have had an affair? That's also unusual, because the first time they meet back up, she's like, you need to forget about your problems and maybe I can help you at least for a night. But then the next scene is they're just sitting around in his apartment. And then another scene later, when he's tracking the killer, he bursts in on her in the shower and she's all upset. So it's like, if you were having sex before in the past, would you be that upset? It's really weird. I'm not sure. What else is weird is Rutger Hauer. He is chewing the scenery in this early parts especially. They go a long way to make his character seem damaged and quirky because of what had happened to his partner. So, for example, he is always drinking coffee, but they make a point of showing that he loves lots of sugar in it. So, one scene, they show him filling it up in the automatic coffee machine, and it's just all sugar. And then there's one scene where the boss that doesn't like him, he takes the boss's pen out of his pocket and uses that to stir his coffee. So I'm like, he's doing that just to piss the dude off. But then, like 2 scenes later, he asks his new partner for a pen to stir his coffee. And so that's like his thing, I guess. I don't know. So I will say this. The opening credits kind of give away what's going on, or at least they gave me a good idea of what was happening with the killer, because they mention and so as blank. And I'm like, oh, well, I bet that's what's going on then. And sure enough, that's what was going on. So don't pay attention to the credits, because that will sort of give it away. As I said, it's kind of weird because it's like, why is it in the future? Why is there water everywhere? Why is it in London even? And the ending is kind of boring. In fact, I had to go rewatch it just before this to make sure that I remembered it. And yeah, I did. So it is interesting because of Rutger Hauer's, all his quirkiness, and the interaction between him and his partner is kind of entertaining. And it's a little unusual because they do seem to get along. There's like one scene where the partner gets drunk and all of a sudden he is acting like Rutger Hauer's character. He's taking on all the bad habits of the coffee and things like that. And so that's kind of cute. It also ends really weirdly, like after the bad guy has been taken over. They do a pull off of the boat going down. I guess it's the Thames. I'm not really sure. And there's like a hard-boiled detective voiceover from the partner. And then you hear Rutger Hauer's character go like, "Shut up." It's like, what? Why? What did they do with that? And then Cab Calloway's That Old Black Magic plays.
Once again, the Black Mask's power prevails over evil. Yes, Detective Dick Durkin and his psychic sidekick Harley Stone can relax for a moment before they are called forth once more to do battle with the forces of darkness.
Durkin? Shut up!
That old black magic has me in a spell.
So that's a really weird choice. Apparently, according to Wikipedia, Split Second had a little bit of a troubled development because they were starting to make it, then another movie came out that had a similar plot. So apparently the original plot was going to be a serial killer comes back every certain number of years. And that's still in there, but it doesn't really matter. And so they had to redo that. And then the Rutger Hauer apparently wanted more action at the end. And so for some reason, the director didn't want to do that. So they had another director come in and direct like basically the last 15 minutes. And so it's not the greatest movie, but it is kind of entertaining. I give it 1 thumb up. Don't watch the credits unless you want to be spoiled. The end is boring.